before we begin to listen to Dharma talk, I will invite everyone to sit upright. Allow your right hand to be on top of your left palm. Two thumbs touching each other, like this, just like the Buddha statue, which means you bring your mind and body togetherness. And really relax your body, calm your mind. I'd like you to close your eyes gently. And we'll listen to 3 sounds of the bell, just to calm our mind and relax our body before we listen to the Dharma talk, so that all the wonderful words of the Buddha teaching can penetrate deep into your heart, so that you can remember to practice, to contemplate. Dear friends, today is Thursday, July 30th, year 2021. We are at Lumbini Monastery, Lawrence, Massachusetts. Today is our second day of the summer retreat, 2021. I hope everyone is having a great time. I hope everyone have no desire to go home. Is there anyone here have desire to go home?
No.
Great.
No. Yes.
And this is also our second year that the Lumbini Monastery had organized a retreat for the young friends. Last year we couldn't organize the retreat because of COVID pandemic, but things are gradually, slowly coming back to normal, thanks to the government, scientists, health profession who are helping to develop the vaccine. So looking each and every one of you, I know that you are in good health. And I have to admit, every one of you look very beautiful and handsome. Keeping ourselves healthy is protecting our family, our community, and that's the action of compassion, love. We know that viruses is part of this life. And so they exist everywhere around us and inside our body. The virus is outside of us. It's easy to aware and to prevent. And long we practice personal hygiene, keep ourselves safe, and of course follow the CDC guidance. And vaccinate can also very much help keep our body safe. But the virus is inside us is not easy. It stays dormant. It's waiting for us to, when we're sick, when we feel depressed, that's when it manifests. So today we might be healthy, happy, but if tomorrow we're sick, we feel depressed, or even angry, this can attack us. Because that's when our immune system is weak and vulnerable. So it's very important that for us to always keep a very happy spirit, a joyful spirit, and most importantly, forgiveness, letting go all the negative ideas, letting go the worries, the fears, anxiety. Because if you don't letting go all that unwholesome mental formation, then your body, your mind slowly weaken. Health field scientists research have proven that in order for us to stay healthy is how we take care of our mental well-being. If we couldn't take care of our well-being, then we'll likely get sick. Young friends like you have so much energies, so you might not aware of that, but it will weaken your body and mind slowly if you keep on thinking negative. Keep on thinking bad about yourself and others. You have to think like this. Our human body is like a universe, similar to the universe outside of us. If we take care of our own body, our own mind, we take a great care of the world outside of us. Because peace, or outside peace, is coming within each individual. So your contribution to make this world peace, to make this world a safe place for yourself, for the new generation, for many beings, is by taking care of yourself. Taking care of yourself physically and mentally. And how do we take care of our body and mind? Just like every one of you come here to this retreat. Coming here to this retreat is the first door for you to enter into the wonderful Dharma, the great teaching of the Buddha. Coming to the Sunday service. Because when you come to retreat, when you come into the Sunday service at the Buddhist Temple, Buddhist monastery, you will be guided varieties of mindfulness exercises. And that exercises, just like we've been doing yesterday and this morning, we train you how to walk, mindfully. We train you how to sit calmly, so you have a moment to relax your body and to charge new energies. We train you how to eat in a mindfulness way. We encourage you to involve with friends here that are stranger to you by having different kind of activities for you to be involved so that you get to know one another. And we share Dharma talk, the Buddha teachings, according to what we have learned, we have practiced, and how wonderful that Dharma help us in our practice. We want to share that back to you so you can feel that wonderful teachings that the Buddha had passed down for over 2,600 years, and people are still applying the teaching of the Buddha in their life. And matter of fact, there's more people, especially the Westerners, are getting more involved in the practice of Buddha teaching. Because the teaching of the Buddha is very much focused on the loving kindness. We have to have loving kindness to ourselves, to the people around us, that's our family, our community, our friends, and to all sentient beings. We cultivate compassion, always listen and understanding the other person's problem so we can help alleviate the suffering. Ourselves or others. We train to live as joyful, respect the joy of others, and feel happy the joy of others as you are feeling the happy joy of yourself. We train to not to have a discrimination or prejudice toward anyone, whether it's white, black, Asian, Caucasian, all beings are equally have awakening mind. All beings should be protected to love. All beings have the capacity to reach enlightenment, because the Buddha said that each being is the Buddha to be. That's why we always join our hand palm together, a lotus for you, a Buddha to be. And so to damage someone feeling, to hurt someone, that's being you are killing a Buddha in that person. And we don't want to do that. As a matter of fact, that's the first precept, the first mindfulness training is not to kill. Physically or mentally or verbally. So that's for immeasurable love that we always train ourselves as a Buddha teaching, as monastic or as lay Buddhists like yourself. And so when people come to Buddhism and when they practice this idea, the idea of loving kindness, the idea of having compassion, joy, and not having discrimination mind to others, is a great practice. And the more you practice with that ideas, with that teaching, it just makes your heart, your mind grow bigger and bigger each day. And you easily forgive yourself and forgive others when someone makes a mistake or when someone hurt you. So we learn we come to Buddhism, we learn to reflect, we learn to practice, and we learn to contemplate all the wonderful guidelines and exercise that you have been guided by the Dharma teachers. And any exercise that we have guided you, and just pick one that you like, that help you calm your mind, that help you to relax your body, that help you free from stress, free from depressed, free from angry, free from sadness. Then apply that. It could be a walking meditation, it could be a mindfulness eating, it could be relaxing, totally relaxing, lying down. And all you have to do is just follow your breathing. Just breathing in deeply and breathing out slowly. The exercise that can be easy, and because it's so easy that we take advantage of it, we forget about it because it's so familiar, and we thought we've been breathing all this time, but we didn't know that our breathing is not mindfulness. Our breathing is just our natural instinct as human being. We have to breathe in order to survive. But that breathing is just natural, instant. But the training you are trained to is mindfulness breathing, is to aware of your breath, of where the each breath that you're taking in through your nostril, and where each breath you breathe out through your nostril. And every awareness of that breath is the moment for you to pause, is the moment for you to understand yourself, your mind. It's a moment for you to cultivate compassion, love, understanding, joy. And most importantly, it's the moment for you to transform the unwholesome mental formation like greed, anger, delusion. These three unwholesome mental formation is the basics of our suffering. And the Buddha said that it's all implanted, it's all embedded in our stored consciousness from beginningless time. As a human, we have this three unwholesome mental formation. We call it three poisons. But these three poisons born arise or give rise to 108 other afflictions. But luckily, the Buddha said that although these three mental poisons in our mind, we also have many great wholesome mental formation in ourselves as well, in our mind as well. So our mind is composed of the seeds wholesome, but also unwholesome seed. But the unfortunate part is that the unwholesome seeds always arise on above our surface, and the wholesome seed is always hidden. You have to cultivate in order for the love, loving kindness, compassion, understanding can arise, can manifest, can be maximized so that you can transform the other negative emotion. So the three mental poison that I just mentioned is greed. Second one is what? Anger. Third one, delusion. Let us examine each of these three poison. So the question you might want to ask before I define is that why is it called three poison? Why is it referred as three mental poison? That's the question you might want to ask. They are referred as three poison is because when these negative, unwholesome mental formation, greed, anger, and delusion arise, you will be suffer because it takes away your well-being. And most importantly, when these three arise, your mind is not clear. So you can't think clear, you cannot act kind, you cannot speak kind. Because it wrecked you to act in most selfish way, in angry and violence. So practicing Buddhism, and we're going to just focus on some of the mindful exercises to help you to transform these three greed. Otherwise, you'll be drowned in these distress when these three poisons arise. And so let us take the moment to examine so you can understand more what is greed. So normally we define greed as having selfish desire, right? That's how we understand. But actually, in Buddhist psychology define that the minute that our mind raised the idea of wanting something, that's already greedy. So let's take a moment, like you're sitting here, you're thinking of going to your room to sleep because you're tired. But that is considered greedy, because you want to sleep. So greedy is not just a selfish desire, but every time your mind arrays idea of wanting something and you couldn't do it, you couldn't have it, what happened? You become angry, you become tired, you become bored. And so you see all the negative mental formations forming. This is already making you not feeling awake or not feeling happy at this moment. But if you can take this moment and to pause and just to breathe, a few 3 or 4 breaths, you'll be awake. You can come back to yourself with an awakened mind. Otherwise, it will take you far to the other side of the road that you don't know where you end up at. I'm sure we all had that experience. So the Buddha said that greed, he described greed as a bottomless pit, that we're always wanting for something, especially very clear that the 5 worldly desires. We are craving, we are thirsty all the time, want to have money, wealth. We are craving and desire to have beauty and or sex. We desire and have craving for fame and power. We always have desire and craving for food. We have desire and craving constantly sleep. Those are 5 worldly desire. And of course, as a human being, We cannot escape from that. We cannot depart from those 5 desires. We need them to function. But we have to function, we need in a certain way we can minimize that. So our wanting should be, have to aware of how much do we want that does not have effect on our well-being. So over-assessing of these 5 desires, money, beauty, sex, fame, power, food, or sleep. Over-accessing those 5 desires, it can only harm to our body, harm our mind. And of course, those who practice, like you come in here, who know how to practice meditation, who know how to practice mindful breathing, your degree of wanting is less. You're able to control. You're able to define what is enough for you so that it will not take the well-being of yours. So that's the difference between the person who knows how to practice Buddha teaching and the person who don't know how to practice or had not familiar with the Buddha teaching practice. Is that the person who practiced was able to minimize, able to control their desire so that they're not suffer and still achieve their goal, they achieve their desire in a minimum way. The second poison on mental, wholesome mental formation is anger. Anger is defined as the feeling of irritation or aversion toward the people, toward the circumstances, or toward ourselves. The minute that you feel irritation, the minute you feel aversion, angry, upset, manifest. So the Buddha described our anger is like burning flame. It's continue burning unless you have to aware and to put the fire out. But if you don't put the fire out, your anger flame, then you're burning all the wonderful merits, all the wonderful things, the action that you had built, you had collected many lives from the previous life and this present life. It will burn all, and it will open to 100 doors of afflictions. And that's just going to make you more angry and more stressed and more suffer, more pain. And the third poison is what? Delusion, excellent, good. Delusion is not have a capacity to understand the reality, the basic principle to life, and all things that appear around us as they are. But delusion is also not aware of our anger, not aware of our greed, not aware of our sadness, despairing, fear, worry. All that unmental formation is forming and we are not aware of that. Well, that's considered delusion. So in other words, delusion is when our mind is not clear, not seeing the true reality, not seeing the true of ourself, of our feelings, and what appear around us. So as a human being, which means the not enlightened being, These three poisons are always embedded in our stored consciousness, alaya consciousness. And don't think you don't have that. The moment you're happy and joy, those three poisons will not arise. It's just stay hidden and dormant, just like virus. As a matter of fact, these three poisons are more deadly than the virus because it's carry on to this life and to next life and to many life until we're reach enlightenment. But for viruses, you just need to take care of your body, and you just need to be safe so that you are not being affected by the virus outside yourself, right? But if you don't take care of this three poison, it will always haunt you. It will always follow you, ready to ingest venom. I don't know, anyone here have been bitten by the yellow bees, yellow flies, mosquito, ants? It's hurt, right? And it could take 2 or 3 days to heal, or some of us can end up in the hospital if we bit by a bee or stung by a bee or yellow fly. I came from Florida, so Florida have a crazy bugs. And no bugs that I would never aware until I go to Florida, because I raised up in California. In California have a very dry air. So only bugs that I'm familiar with in California is mosquito and ants. But when I moved to Florida, when I was direct by the congregation to go there to run the monastery in Panama City, I have been bit so many bugs that I can tell you what kind of bugs that you've been stung or bit by just by looking at the spot. It's so painful that you just can't forget until you bit so many times. So I learned that every time I bit by any insects, I just need to go and wash my hand with soap right away, do it right away, and then apply salt on that spot, and that spot I've been bit by. Then I will be okay for the next hour. But if I don't take care right away, then it will be in pain for me for weeks. So, just like you're taking care of your unwholesome mental formation, just like when you take care of your greed, anger, and delusion, and long other negative emotion, then those negative emotions will not follow you to the next day and the day after that. If we don't know how to take care of our emotion, then we'll be haunted by, we'll be followed by this feeling of uneasiness and happiness. And we'll be suffer day after day, maybe year after year. So it's very important we take care away. When the minute that we are not happy about someone, we take care right away. We take care right away. Otherwise, it will be embedded in our consciousness, and we kept thinking about that all the time. Like for example, someone came to you and criticized about your look, make comment about your appearance, say, you're short, you're too tall, you're a little overweight, other unattractive feature of yourself, and they consider unattractive, and so they make comment, make appearance, and you believe right away, and you thought maybe I am short, maybe I'm too tall, maybe I'm a little overweight, maybe my appearance is not pretty, I should have a surgery, I should do better, do something about it. But you forgot that being short, being tall, or having other unattractive features is just the perception of each individual's view of points. It's never true. To me, I define attractiveness is when you have your eyes able to see vision. You have a vision, able to see sight, forms. You have an ear to listen. You don't need to wear hearing aid. You have the nose to smell the wonderful fragrance, the odor. You have the tongue to taste the texture of the food that you put in your mouth, and you can define that this is healthy food for my body, this is not healthy food for my body. You have the body that is strong and healthy. You have the mind that is to clear and can focus, can think in creative way. That's attractive. But if you don't aware that, then you kept thinking that I'm short, I'm too tall, I'm not attractive, then you will always feel low self-esteem. You will always feel like you are not good enough. And it's just for that, only thinking can lead to many other side effects to that. But if someone who comes to you and make comment about you, whether about your physical appearance, whether about how you are, just pause and breathe. Ground yourself so that you feel calm and relaxed. Just about 3 to 10 breaths. You establish yourself, and then you recognize whether it's true or not. If it's true that you're short, that's fine. Short can be very attractive too, in a certain way. Short can do many things that tall people can't do, like crawl into a small little hole. Like I don't know that when you lock out your house and you need someone who is small that can crawl into the window, and that's when you appreciate the people who are small and short. Tall people have advantage. When we couldn't reach something, then that tall person can reach for us. So you see, all that notion, ideas to define someone attractive or not attractive is never true. It's never true. The society might have this standard and say this is how the attractive look, and this is not attractive people are. But those standards is wrong too. Those standard is viewed by who? By who? By the human being. And human being is not enlightened being. And because we're not enlightened being, our view or perception is always wrong. Maybe some degree, but that degree of rightness is very. So you have to really know who you are, define who you are, understand yourself. It's very important. And the only way you can do it is to cultivate mindfulness, concentration, wisdom. These are the 3 highest training that as amongst myself, as a lay Buddhist, always training moment. Mindfulness in Pali called smrti. It's mean remember. Remember to live in the present moment. Remember to be aware of your present. Remember to know what around you so that you can be aware and can be attentive and can live fully in that moment. Live fully in that moment, you can see the true nature of what is prevalent in front of you. And if you mastermind that mindfulness, which means you train yourself to meditate 5 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes during the day, 5 minutes at night, just sit and follow your breathing to calm your mind, to relax your body. You train to walk, do a mindfulness walk, and sometimes you have the desire to run, that's fine. Just be aware you're running while you're running. Sometimes you want to walk a little faster, just be aware of your fast pace while you're walking. Sometimes you want to do slowly walk, a slow walk, so you can enjoy, aware of that. The more important that you touch yourself into that posture and aware of your mindfulness reading. And the more you mastermind that mindfulness, you increase your concentration. You will touch the true nature, the wonderful of yourself and of around you. You will not understand yourself. You will not understand others. It's your mind kept running outside of our sources. Only come back to yourself. Only touching what is up here in front of you. Then you have the wisdom to see the true nature of that. So wisdom is prajna. So in order for you to have wisdom, great understanding, deep insight, wisdom does not come with high intellectual, that reading a lot of books. But wisdom is coming within. Of course, reading and learning, that's academic, and we need that to function in the world. But in order for you to see and to understand clearly what you see, what you hear, what you touch, what you taste, what you think, you have to have wisdom. And wisdom can only born when you have mindfulness, awareness in the present moment. Remember at that present moment, smriti, and increase that by concentration on that. And then once you are concentrated and keep that, and you mastermind the energies of wisdom and concentration, your wisdom rise. And then let's make it simple. When you sit and you meditate and you just hold on to your breathing, hold on, and if the breathing is your lifesaver, and you just breathe in and you breathe out. That's all you have to do, just breathe in and breathe out. And you repeat that over and over, and not letting thoughts and ideas carry you off, making you worry, making you sad, making you unhappy. Then after that sitting, your mind becomes very clear and you think very positive about yourself. That's a wisdom. You're able to transform your greed, anger, delusion, fear, worry. That's wisdom. Or when you watch news on TV or read something on social media, or someone came to you and tell you about the news, and you immediately believe it, and without doing research, without think about it, then that's not wisdom. A person who has wisdom is a person who is able to reflect and to contemplate whether what they hear, what they see, their smell or taste is true or not. They can identify, and that can only come with a mindfulness practice, with a concentration practice, in order to have that clear sight, a clear insight. When you come to this retreat, I want you to remember all the practice that the Dharma teacher had guided you. Whether it's sitting meditation or walking meditation or eating meditation or chanting, whatever the guidance that we have shared with you, pick one that helped you mostly, that help you to come back to yourself, that help you to relax your body, that help you to calm your mind, and free from fear, free from stress, free from hatred, free from prejudice, free from violence, anger, then apply that. Because again, a non-enlightened being, as a human, these 3 poisons will always follow us. It's embedded in our consciousness until we reach enlightenment. So don't be fooled and let it drown you. Use your tool that you learn, the mindfulness tool. So practicing Buddhism is knowing how to reflect, knowing how to use mindfulness breathing to free from all distress, sadness, angry, etc. You have to take care of your body. You have to take care of your mind for your parents, for your family, for society, and the future generation. And so there's 84,000 methods of the Buddha teaching that can help you to transform anger to compassion, loving kindness, transform greed to generosity, caring, transfer delusion to wisdom, understanding, right view. There is a method for you to practice. But for now, use the mindfulness as a method to help you to transform any problem that you are going through, any suffering you are going through, whether physically or mentally. Even when you're in pain, like for example, right now you're sitting here, your knee is in pain, your legs is aching, all you do is just breathe in and send that energy down to your leg or to the area that you feel numb or you feel pain, and you'll be fine. You want to try that? If you have a pain right now, just breathe with me and send to that area. Even if you feel sleepy right now, just breathe. Take a deep in breath and then take it out. Breath. Everyone doing? You see the difference? So mindfulness breathing is not just helping you to heal your body, not only helping you heal your mind, but also your body. So Buddhism is not just only a wonderful philosophy, but it is the path for us to walk so that true happiness, joy, and peace can be possible. And happiness outside sources is temporary and only can happen when conditions meet. But true happiness, the happiness that you cultivate by practicing mindful breathing, by coming back to yourself and reflect on the Buddha teachings, by observe the wonderful nature around you, by appreciate your parents, your siblings, your friends, your neighbor, your teachers, all that practice is helping you to cultivate true happiness, joy, and peace. And most importantly, the more you collect it, more you collect that happiness, joy, and peace, you will be able to transform bit by bit each day on your greed, delusion, anger. Just like bit by bit, if you're bit by a snake or by insect and you just suck the blood out slowly, then all the venom discharged and you come back to you feel well and normal. Did that make any sense in the practice of Buddha teaching? And I know that some of you here might not give yourself full attention like others, but I know you will remember in the 45 minutes talk, you will remember something and bring it home into practice. When already you coming here, that I already see a leadership in you already. Whether you're being forced by your parents coming here or whether because you like to come here, does not matter. Importantly, that you are here with us and you're willing to practice and you're willing to give yourself a chance to understand yourself, understand the people around you, and find a good solution when you hear something, when someone says something about you, when you interact with unfavorable condition, you're able to ground yourself, pause and breathe. Everything will be okay. Because the Buddha said what? Everything is impermanence, that including our feelings. Unless we want it's permanent, then we will be always suffer because we go against the law of impermanence. How about I sing you a song to help you a little bit awake? This is the song that I composed, and I think I had this song. It's called returning to your body and mind, returning to your true self. And one day I was walking and this lyric is flowing now, and I guess because I'm very faithful and very disciplined in my practice of mindfulness breathing. And it's helped me a lot. It helped save my life. I was this close to kill in the ocean when the riptide was arise. But because I breathe and I surrender to my death, and I was able to survive. If you go to Florida, you will there are always signs showing the visitor or the swimmer that riptide, be aware of the riptide. So when I was caught in that riptide, I was able to escape from that just by practice my breathing and just surrender my death, and I was able to survive. Or there's moments when I feel my heart very in pain because I guess I overwork. Or there's moments that I feel a little irritated about things around. I just come back to my breathing, and just about 3 to 10 breaths, I just back to normal. And I was like, silly me, I'm thinking, why would you be upset over that? It's just nothing. So the mindfulness to me is like my master, my teacher, my doctor, my friend. And if you practice, you will see that. So every day you practice, you see that. Now you wait until you have the problem to practice. Then it's not going to work. It has to be practiced in advance to realize that. So here's the song. Smiling and breathing, a miracle is born. I smile and breathe, filled with peace. I feel so free, one with all that is. I bow my head to nature here. I hear the birds song bright and clear. This song calls out, inviting me. Come back to breath, each moment be. Come back to breath and feel the joy. Come back to breath and each moment be. Come back to breath and feel the joy. Together with me. Smiling and breathing, a miracle is born. 2, 3. Smiling and breathing, a miracle is born. I smile and breathe, filled with peace. Again. I smile and breathe, filled with peace. I feel so free, one with all that is. I feel so free, one with all that is. A little off the. I bow my head to nature here. Together with me. Smiling and breathing, a miracle is born. I smile and breathe, filled with peace. I feel so free, one with all that is. I bow my head to nature here. I hear the birds' song bright and clear. So the next second verse. I hear the birds' song bright and clear. This song call out, inviting me for what? Come back to breath, each moment be. Come back to breath and feel the joy. So you have to come back to your breath in order to feel the moment and to feel the joy. Easy, right? Yes. Then let's sing one more time before we end our Dharma talk. 2, 3. Smiling and breathing, a miracle is born. I smile and breathe, filled with peace. I feel so free, one with all that is. I bow my head to nature here. I hear the birds' song bright and clear. This song calls out, inviting me. Come back to breath, each moment be. Come back to breath and feel the joy. Come back to breath and each moment be. Come back to breath and feel the joy. Thank you for your listening. May we dedicate this merit to all sentient beings. May everyone be happy and safe. May all beings reach enlightenment.